cringe, like the heebie-jeebies?
I mean, I just saw a guy who was, like, let's be real, Dan Campbell takes all the spotlight in Detroit. And Ben Johnson was a big name, but Dan Campbell took the brunt of the interviews and stuff. He looked like a guy who is not completely comfortable with that media interview setting yet. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass because that takes time to get comfortable, especially if that's not something that's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I hear you.
I do agree. I do think it was a little awkward. I wouldn't say cringy, but the guy looked like he was a little bit out of his comfort zone.
And here's the thing. Like, I'm kind of with you, and I love to give people a little runway. You're not good at things right away. No one really is. Primetime, you reminded me, or you told me, because I did not see this. It reminded you of the Adam Gase head coach interview?
Yes, Adam Gase with the Jets. I believe that's 8 years ago now when he took over as the head coach for Sam Darnold. I think that's 2018. It's 6 years ago. But no, he sat down, I believe, at the press conference, and he started looking around the room like he was looking for snipers.
Oh.
No, he was looking for danger. Yeah. And his eyes were just darting around the room like he was hopped up on something that the NFL drug policy would not be clearing him of.
Weed is tight.
Do coaches get tested?
That's a great question.
That's a great question. But
do you have a coach for curling? You have a coach,
and
right?
I don't think he would. I've never seen a coach get tested at the Olympics. So
in Matt, similar defense of Ben Johnson here. I also thought of Nick Sirianni when he first got hired with the Eagles, and I remember he sat down and he was super just really bad in front of the microphone. People asking him questions, he's just stammering. Trust me, I've been there. I know how it feels as a guy who stutters and stammers a lot. But I would be terrible at a press conference. But he turned out to, I think we all agree, is a really good head coach. He's been to 2 NFC championship games and a Super Bowl, so he's been pretty successful. So because he's not great at the press conference doesn't necessarily mean he's not a good head coach.
Kind of feel like I could coach the Eagles and get to an NFC championship game.
Fair.
See,
that team is stacked.
The thing is, Nick Sirianni had something kind of coach speak to say, right? He came out and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna put together a system, and that system's gonna be easy to learn for us, but no one else is gonna know how to learn it, but we're gonna learn it." And he clearly had the ideas, but he just got stage fright, effectively, is what it was like. I'm looking at Ben Johnson, and I promise, Jim Rutledge is gone. We will give you a break from Bears content, but right now it's a little too much fun to make fun of the Bears. Yeah. He went out there and he executed what he wanted. He nailed it. He set up this big joke about the other 2 head coaches in the NFC North, and then, but I like beating, okay, here. Primetime has the audio. Let's play the audio of, and if you're on the YouTube stream, you can watch, because really watching it, it's the smirk that does it for me. Primetime, play it.
I know this is the toughest division of football right now. There's 3 teams that made the playoffs this year. I've got tremendous amount of respect for the coaches and the players in this league. Having competed against them for the last 6 years. Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, you're talking about 2 guys that are up for Coach of the Year awards as the season ends here. And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
He's so proud of himself. He sat there smiling like an idiot for 5 seconds.
That was written down well before the press conference. He was planning on getting that dig in on the Packers.
Oh, he wrote that down. He practiced it in front of the mirror. He practiced it in front of his kids, his wife. He had that ready. Yeah. And that man looks, so not alpha. And I don't, there's a lot about, but he is not the, dog leader that he needs to be.
Well, especially the one that Caleb Williams wanted. Remember, he wanted high energy. He had a list for the Bears. This is what I want in a new head coach. Ben Johnson ain't hitting that energy mark, especially with that. That was a groaner of a joke. I get it.
Oh, I love a good
groaner. And honestly, that, who's listening, they're all going to find that fairly funny because...
Well, and unrelatable. They've never done that. It's been what? No, they've beaten Matt LaFleur once? This was the first time?
Once in 12 cracks, I think.
I think it was the first time LaFleur had lost to the Bears, and I believe it was
12.
Yeah, in 12 games. Yeah, first time.
And they pulled all the starters. There was a punt return. Like, everything had to go right, and the Packers had to literally roll over. Like,
Yeah, they had to pee down their leg.
Matt LaFleur wasn't even probably on the sideline to end that game. He was already planning for what's going on next week in the playoffs. So
after Ben Johnson's first 2 seasons, will he have as many, more, or less wins against the Packers than Thomas Brown?
Oh, Thomas Brown was 1-1.
It was 1-1. But total wins, how many do you think Ben Johnson will have?
Versus the Packers?
Yeah, first 2 seasons for the Bears, with the Bears.
I'm gonna say they're gonna get one more if they address their offensive line. If
So
not,
this
it's
year,
over.
you mean, or over the next
sorry,
years?
2. I thought you said in 2 seasons.
Yes.
I think that he has I think the Bears have the capability of going 1-3. Do I think it's gonna happen? I give that like a 40% chance that they win one.
Matt?
No way.
No.
I like that.
Because I think that the whole situation going from coordinator to head coach, like, he's got to hire a coordinator. He's going to have to hire a DC. He's going to have more on his plate. Like, sure, he's going to be calling the plays, but he's not going to be controlling what the defense does. Sure, they have fine players, but again, they're going to have to learn a new system under a new DC. I don't see it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Packers are going to be able to rattle off a couple wins, and Ben Johnson's not going to have the luxury or the ability to make crack jokes how he's beaten Matt LaFleur a couple times.
All right, the other part of that joke that he set up and really just nailed home. He mentioned that the other 2 head coaches in the NFC North are really good guys. They're really good, talented. They're both up for Coach of the Year, potentially. They both kind of fell flat in the playoffs. And so it got us thinking, and we're going to put it on Twitter here in just a minute. Aside from Matt LaFleur, which NFC North coach would you want to coach the Green Bay Packers? If it were just in a vacuum, right? They all had to trade places in some way, shape, or form. Would you rather have Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, or Kevin O'Connell? Which one of those 3 would you want to be the head coach of the Green Bay Packers? 844-770-3776. Primetime's going to put that on Twitter here shortly at Jim and Matt, and that is the way into the show. Let us know which one of the 3 you'd like to see. Matt, what are your thoughts?
Well, my first thought is, if we're keeping Jeff Hafley, I like the idea of getting Ben Johnson just because he is that offensive mind, right? Like, I am pretty confident. I'm like 90% confident that Hafley is going to be able to take another step forward next year because he saw what he's got. He's going to be able to tell Goody what he needs for players in the draft, maybe in free agency. I do think, aside from injuries, the Packers defense will take another step or at least a half step forward. So when you're looking for a head coach and you kind of want an offensive mind guy because you have the defense, I think Ben Johnson wouldn't be a bad pick.
Oh, wow.
My whole thing with Ben Johnson is he's going to have to figure out who he wants to be his DC, and there's no guarantee that they're going to be solid. I do think that offense is going to be pretty decent next year for the Bears. So that's why with what we do have in Green Bay, I think Ben Johnson could do a lot of interesting play calls. He's definitely a fun play caller. There's a lot of trick plays that they throw in there. He's definitely an entertaining head coach. And for me, I watch football to be entertained. So I think more on I think it'd be a lot of fun. I would pick Ben Johnson, I think, over O'Connell and Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell, I love the rah-rah thing. I think he's great as your coach, but I hate seeing him coaching other teams, especially rivals. I don't want Dan Campbell. And O'Connell kind of just gives me like nothing burger vibes. Like,
yeah,
I haven't heard enough from him.
O'Connell does feel a little bit like he really embodied the old quarterback over there, right? Wow, I'm blanking on everyone's name today. Who just went to the
Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins.
Oh,
he
yeah.
feels like the head coach version of Kirk Cousins. Kirk O'Chains had nothing but like Cole's Cash swagger,
Yeah.
and Kevin O'Connell gives a similar vibe.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell kind of gives me like Matt LaFleur light.
Yeah, I like that. Listen, I think Dan Campbell is the kind of guy I would I would follow into battle.
I would want him as my coach
as
if
my
I'm a
coach.
player.
But I also look at it, and I know that there's the old saying, work smarter, not harder. Dan Campbell is going to outwork everyone in America. Like, he's going to put his teeth on the ground and walk that way because he can, and he's going to prove to you he can do it. And then you've got these other guys with Matt LaFleur and Jeff Hafley and these guys who are like, no, we belong here, and we're going to walk with our feet. And they all end up in the same spot.
Right.
Dan Campbell just works
He's
way
working harder.
He's got 19, 16, whatever it is, people on IR because everyone's getting hurt because he's like, you're going to run through them and you're going to take them down. And there's a level of super fun. It's like being a fan of Aaron Rodgers, right? Because through the year, you get to watch Aaron Rodgers just dominate dumpster teams. And that's what they did. The Lions went berserk throughout the entire year, but then the playoffs come, and suddenly putting the ball in Jameson Williams' hand, their second string wide receiver, to throw a pass, you throw an interception, and it didn't work, Dan. Yeah. Just run the ball. You have an excellent run.
Now, should we be blaming Ben Johnson for that?
Ben Johnson gets some of that blame.
He called that play.
But Dan Campbell has been historically, fourth down going for it.
Yeah.
He's going to continuously get punched in the throat until he figures out that, like, sometimes you do just have to take the
Your
sure
medicine.
thing. Yeah, 100%.
It worked against Packers in that second game of the season.
Hey, Ryan, shut up.
I'm just saying, it does work at times, too. We can't
and
act like it doesn't.
You're
right.
Against teams that aren't elite. And right now, I hate to say it, but it feels like the Commanders in the NFC Championship, the Packers sitting at home, look better.
Are you trying to say the Commanders are elite?
I'm not saying they're elite yet, but I'm saying they look better than the Packers.
Why?
They have glimpses of elite because it looks like a well-rounded team, offense and defense.
Because they beat the Eagles, who we lost to twice, and they beat the Lions, who we
What
lost to twice.
do you think was the biggest reason they beat the Lions? When you watched that game, what felt like was the biggest reason?
I mean, Jim says it all the time. There's the old trope where, like, oh, we beat ourselves, right? Like, Lions fans are saying that. But realistically, the defense had to make the plays when they were given opportunities to take the ball away. They did. So,
there was a certain guy for the Commanders who scored 38 other points in that game.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels. Not Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, the quarterback for the Commanders.
Jaden Daniels. Yeah. He looked great. He's an excellent player. And
would you say that's the difference between the Commanders and the Packers?
Well, they also have Terry McLaurin.
That's true.
They've got a good team over there. And there's a lot.
80-year-old Zach Ertz.
You had a heck of a game.
I think the Packers have a better tight end. I think Luke Musgrave is better than Ertz.
It didn't matter in the playoffs.
No, it did not.
I think the Washington is just fairly well-rounded. They have a quarterback who right now is playing the best ball of the season for him. Like, he looks confident and poised in the pocket. He's making the right moves and when to tuck it and run. Like, the offense is playing to his skill sets. And I think, they would be this, like, a sneaky team to get into the Super Bowl over the Eagles.
All right, we have to get to break here. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Packers, a little bit less about the Bears coming up next. Matt, can you tell us a little bit about your friends at Metcalf's?
Telling you, I love Metcalf's Market. If Metcalf's could be the coach of the Packers, that's who I'd pick because they've got specialty cheeses for all your cheesehead needs, whether it's domestic cheese right here in Wisconsin or you want that foreign cheese. Maybe you want some French or some Italian cheeses. They've got you covered. They've got a fantastic selection in the liquor department for beers like Coors Light or whiskeys or wines or whatever you're into. My favorite part, though, about Metcalf's is being a Metcalf's Rewards member. Thousands of coupons every single day to help you save money, and you can get that Piedmontese beef only at Metcalf's in Wisconsin. That's at Wauwatosa, Westtown Mall, and Hilldale area. If you want great produce, great meats, great cheeses, a wonderful liquor selection, go to Metcalf's Market and bring local home.
Ben Johnson absolutely flubbed his press conference today, but Devontae Adams joined Kay Adams to talk a little bit about Jordan Love and the guy we just mentioned, Jaden Daniels. All that next. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
Hey, this is Matt's Chicago Doppelganger. You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN Madison.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
Purchase your tickets, grab some friends, and get to the Sylvie on Monday, February 24th for Andy North Trivia Night, presented by Exact Sciences. Enjoy a fun and inspiring evening of trivia, music, food, and refreshments while helping to raise money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. This fun and inspiring event is hosted by Andy North, and in addition to the trivia, the lineup includes a silent auction, celebrity appearances, and prizes. Doors open at 6 p.m. Visit AndyNorthandFriends.com to buy your tickets. Past year's events have sold out quickly, so get your tickets today.
I'm Matt Hamilton.
And I'm his lookalike. You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN Madison.
From the ESPN Madison Everlight Solar Studios, we have a Siding Unlimited poll question in the field. Matt LaFleur aside, which NFC North head coach would you most want to coach the Green Bay Packers? Early returns, 39 votes. Dan Campbell has 38.5%. Kevin O'Connell leading the way with 48.5%. And Ben Johnson just under 13%, which blows me away, Matt Hamilton.
Honestly, I'm thrilled with how many votes we already have on this poll because this is a fun one. This is like we're taking the Packer homerism out of it because little peek behind the curtain. We had talked about it in the studio of the 4, head coaches who do you want to coach Packers. I was like Matt LaFleur, definitely. And do I think some of these other coaches might be better? Like maybe. I don't know for sure, but they certainly had good seasons. But my homerism made me want to vote Matt LaFleur. So the fact that we just took Matt LaFleur out of the equation, I think we're getting a good insight into what Packer fans feel about the other coaches in the North.
I can't fathom how especially after what we saw from Ben Johnson today.
I just voted Ben Johnson.
God, you're crazy. I understand. He calls good plays. But Ryan, all show prep, you were talking about this. Is he a head coach or is he just a coordinator?
I mean, we were grilling Jim Rutledge about it yesterday when he joined the show, bringing up guys like Josh McDaniels and Marty Schottenheimer. I don't think he's ever been a head coach, but he's going to be the Cowboys head coach. By the way, our digital producer in the studio today, Chrissy Birdsall, she's really happy about that one, I know. She's not allowed to speak, but I know she's happy about it.
You want to?
I thought the Cowboys were going to try and bring Jimmy Johnson out of retirement.
Oh, Deion Sanders, Jimmy Johnson, Michael Irvin. That's the offensive coordinator, head coach, D coordinator. Yeah, exactly.
Like anything you could get would have been good, and you just got this guy who slinks in his chair like a toddler who's doing something he knows he shouldn't.
And
is that real? Is he officially hired? I didn't see that.
No, he's not officially hired.
Okay.
No. We're just making jokes. We're just making all jokes today. But no, I think that there's a lot of OCs who just haven't turned out as good head coaches because when it comes to being the head coach, they're not the man, the leader.
Who do you think makes a better head coach, an OC or a DC?
I don't think there's much of a correlation, I'll be honest.
I don't know the numbers.
Here's the thing. I feel like defensive guys have that, like, most of them have that dog mentality.
Yes.
Right?
More so than
where you can get a little more, like, you got guys like Mike McDaniel in Miami, and he just seems like a little alpha nerd. You know what I mean? Like,
Someone called me an alpha nerd.
He like, yeah, exactly. Honestly, yeah.
Sure.
If you were a head coach, you'd be Mike McDaniel.
Oh yeah.
If you had enough money to buy off-white Air Force
Ones.
As much as him. No, not nearly as much. No. That's it wasn't that cold at Lambeau Field. It was just
they like those little alpha nerds down in Miami. Who's the coach of the Miami Heat? Is
Eric Spoelstra?
Yeah, he was started watching tape and doing like tape stuff because he was like, I'm just getting into the X's and O's. I'm going to watch all the tape. And he broke it down for him until he got the head coaching gig.
And I do think that's the interesting thing when you talk about like guys who are good head coaches. Like sometimes I don't even think it's the guys who are like the best ball knowers or best like play callers per se. Like Mike Tomlin, I don't know if he was super successful as a DC, but he's arguably one of the 10 most successful head coaches in NFL history, longevity wise for sure.
I mean the idea that the team they did end up with a winning record this year. Yeah, he's never had a losing record.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think sometimes, even John Harbaugh was a special teams coordinator before he became a head coach. Like, I don't know.
He was a quarterback.
John Harbaugh? John Harbaugh.
Jim. Oh,
not
right.
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim.
Yeah, no. I don't think there's a huge correlation between which side of the ball you coordinate for or coach before becoming a head coach. I think it has more to do with just how well you manage people and manage like subordinates and hire the right guys around you too.
Right.
And I will say Ben Johnson seems like they're hiring a lot of good people so far.
He's poaching a lot of the guys that he worked with in Detroit.
He got the O-line. He's rumored to be getting the O-line coach from the Lions, which if that's the case, then I would feel that the Bears might actually be pretty good next year because they have if they have a halfway decent O-line, like G said, like they might have a pretty decent team.
That was probably their biggest flaw this season, right?
Not
probably. It was because
terrible.
the running game would be better. Yeah.
Caleb Williams was sacked more than anybody else. And they made the Packers pass rush look good, and the Packers were pretty mediocre, right? So 844-770-3776, the Carbless ESPN Madison Talking text line, our Siding Unlimited poll question, which other NFC North head coach would you want? Ben Johnson, Kevin O'Connell, Dan Campbell. I'm Alex.
Call in and tell us why if you want. I'm super open to hearing it. Like I gave the excuse that if we have Halfley and we're putting in a new head coach, I'd want an offensive-minded head coach. So if you've got other rationale that you want to explain, call in and let us know.
844-770-3776. Rip and Rona chimes in. I think we can all agree that planned jokes are corny. This was corny and lame. Imagine him heading into the locker room around football dudes and being like, fellas, you see that
news conference.
I killed it. Right, like I don't know what he's talking about. All right, I butchered that one.
Were you trying to say you killed it, or did Ben Johnson say he killed it?
Who did better, me or Ben Johnson?
That's a good question.
Just ever so slightly Ben got it out without any help from his producer. So I'm going to say Ben might have beat you.
Executioner. He executed his game plan. If that's his game plan, I feel really good about where the Green Bay Packers are at. But we were talking about it before the break. Jaden Daniels in the Washington Commanders are in the NFC Championship game right now, and the Green Bay Packers sitting on the couch watching from home. This morning, I believe it was, on the Kay Adams show, Davante Adams joins, and he compared Jaden Daniels to Jordan Love. Primetime, do we have that audio?
That we do.
Let's do it.
He honestly, and I know people are going to act crazy from me saying this, but I don't even mean it in any way other than just what I'm saying. But he reminds me a lot of the temperament, the calmness, just the smoothness out there. He's a lot like J Love as far as like demeanor goes. And you never see him get worked up. He may put a ball out a little too far, or somebody may not come down with it, which doesn't happen too much. But if it does, you can just feel it's like a different type of veteran feel back there. I mean, the kid's just sitting in the pocket, dialing it up, waiting for stuff to develop, hitting open receivers, and then running the ball and running through people, doing a little bit of everything. It looks literally just like his Heisman year. And his Heisman, this is exactly why I wanted him in Vegas. I don't know if I would have ever had to leave Vegas if we would have been able to make that happen. But when you are the best talent in the draft, you're not going to drop past wherever we were. So I understand that part as well.
That's really high praise from Davante Adams yesterday on the Kay Adams show.
Seems like he's circling to try and get back on the Packers, saying sweet stuff about Jordan Love.
He brings it up unprovoked, and they talked about that for a while. But also, he could be out there free agent. He could be cut. He could be traded this year, Davante Adams, that is.
I believe he's a free agent, is he not? He's just hitting he's hitting the streets.
Okay, yeah, I saw that he was getting paid a buttload of money this year, but I didn't know if he was free agent.
I think they're going to cut him to get that cap room back.
Yeah, I assume there's no way.
Because he signed a 2-year deal.
Did he with the Jets?
Yeah, but it was probably had something to do with.
You're right. Yes,
the second season, but
it's probably
you could
void
cut
years. Yeah, there's definitely an out
for
them.
100%. That's why you would. I mean, and if realistically, if Davante came knocking at the Packers door, we would sign him to a very similar deal, kind of like the Josh Jacobs one, right? We send him 4 years, but after 2, we can get out of that contract.
Do you think he'd more likely want to go play for the Packers or the Commanders? The way you heard him talk about Jaden Daniels.
Honestly, it sounds like the Commanders to me.
I mean, if I'm a wide receiver right now, Jaden Daniels is doing something that we haven't seen Jordan Love do to this point, right? He's got 5 or 6 game-winning fourth quarter drives. The dude is on fire. He's throwing the ball everywhere on the field, and he's making plays with his feet. And this is something that, has been criticized about Jordan Love. He is athletic, but he's not out there making things work with his feet. He averaged fewer yards than Aaron Rodgers this year on the ground, I believe, which I'm going to double check that.
He had 88 yards this year rushing.
Yeah, we dug into it a couple weeks ago.
Rodgers had more.
Yeah, I mean, that is shocking. Aaron Rodgers is coming off of a torn Achilles, and he's 40.
Yeah, but that was kind of Aaron Rodgers' game. He was one of the, to me, and I know there's plenty of other people you can point to, but Rodgers was one of the guys that really showed you how to exactly be a pocket passer that can run. He would take advantage of the room you gave him, but if you tried to cut him off a little bit, he was going to torch you with his arm. And it's kind of like what a lot of these young quarterbacks that are coming out try to be. Caleb Williams talks about trying to be like Aaron Rodgers. And I thought he did, aside from his line being dreadful, I thought he kind of embodied that. He ran when he needed to, but he also wanted to stay in the pocket and let it rip. So I think Jaden Daniels is a more athletic than Caleb Williams, and that's why it's really working for him right now. And he's obviously the poise, the same calmness and demeanor of Jordan Love. That's what I really enjoy about watching Jordan Love. He'll throw a pick, and you don't see him go over to the sideline, slam his helmet. He picks up the iPad and is like, where did I go wrong? Let's fix this and get moving in the right direction.
That's something that really isn't talked about enough. I think Jordan Love is so incredibly confident, and it's not like the same kind of confidence that Aaron Rodgers has throwing the belt on.
Confidence.
No, it's not in your face, but he'll make a mistake, and that's just part of the game. Mm-hmm. It's not like the end of the world. It's not getting rattled. He just goes out there, he makes mistakes. The only game we've seen him really get rattled, I feel like, was the game against the Vikings in the first half, that first one when he's come back from his knee injury. And I think that was more of a physical rattling than a
Like,
true
I can't
mental.
do what I know I should be able to do. I normally can do this, but physically I can't pull off these same moves that I would like to.
He was
That
playing on a
frustrated with
sprained
that.
knee. Yeah, absolutely. So he looked really good. But there's just something that Jaden Daniels has, that him factor, that it factor, that Jimmy Butler style, like, team on my back, let's go. And I've not
General
seen
soreness?
a general soreness, sure. I've not seen Jordan Love really hone in on that yet. You know, there's not been a lot of these crush it fourth quarter drives that he's capable of. He has all of the physical attributes. He has all the things that you want from a quarterback. And Matt LaFleur talked about it. He needs to do more to put him in a good position. Any last thoughts on this before we get to break?
No, I mean, I agree that with Devontae, I do see that there is definitely similarities between the two quarterbacks, and hopefully Devontae keeps whispering sweet nothings about the Packers, and Goody comes calling.
Well, I mean, Kay Adams brings it up later, and we can revisit that after the break. But I would ask you guys before we move on, do you think Jordan Love will ever be playing at the level that Jane Daniels is currently?
Yes.
Yeah, I just pulled up their stats, and let's talk about it. Like, you know,
we can get into it.
All right, we'll get into that next. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Before we go, I want to tell you more about J&K Security Solutions, locally owned, family-run business that has been part of Madison for nearly 40 years. Jeffrey and the whole team at J&K are making sure your business is safe and secure with services ranging from commercial fire detection to commercial security surveillance. They are dedicated to keeping your business safe. Home services include security and home automation using Control4. Keep your home and business up to date with our friends at J&K Security Solutions. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company. 20-year James client Daniel Bertelson, CEO at RE/MAX Preferred.
Reliability and consistency are the key to any successful business, and for our networking and digital solutions, they've been that right along with us for all these years.
Local reliability and consistency has also had a positive impact for Baker Manufacturing. Purchasing Manager Jennifer Wilger.
It helps keep us efficient and productive, and we can keep our minds on what's really important, and that's taking care of our customers.
And Josh Gabel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance, also depends on the reliability and consistency of local service from James Imaging Systems.
Yeah, you get somebody that knows what they're doing, come in here and get it done in 5 minutes, and we're not having to take our time to do it.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Are you frustrated because you can't seem to lose that unwanted weight or keep it off long term? It may not be your fault. Your metabolism might be sabotaging your results. We found that clients on average had a metabolic age 27 years older than their actual age. If that's you, how much harder would it be to lose or maintain your weight? At Madison Weight Loss, our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. To learn how our clients on average lowered their metabolic age by 17 years, go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson, and yes, you can achieve that New Year's resolution to be healthier and drop unwanted weight. I lost 40 pounds during my 60-day program with Madison Weight Loss. It really works.
Now is the time to end the cycle of weight gain and frustration. You could lose 20 to 30 pounds in 60 days and be empowered with the proven tools to keep it off once and for all. You can do the program in person or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Outside In. That's what we call our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the cool stuff you want outside in your yard displayed inside. Patios, decks, pavers, and an automated pergola, fire pit, outdoor kitchen, a putting green, and in-ground pool. Even a converting 3-season room that's either outside or inside. We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. Your outdoor living potential awaits you at our Outside In showroom, 2018 South Stoughton Road. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family.
caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. If you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Stay so cool. I'm on your guitar. My Spanish Harlem Mona Lisa.
I refuse to answer this. Enemies, all of them, says Doug on Twitter, responding to the ESPN Madison. The Sidings Unlimited poll question. Matt LaFleur aside, which NFC North head coach would you want to coach the Packers outside of Matt LaFleur, of course? Dan Campbell, 33%. Kevin O'Connell, 51%. Over half of people. And somehow, with 105 votes, 15% of y'all want Ben Johnson, who just had the cringiest opening statement as a head coach I can think of. Even cringier than Nick Sirianni. Even cringier than Mike McDaniel. It was just bad.
Yeah, Adam Gase was the all-time bad one that I remember.
With the eyes. I've seen other pictures of him. He just has crazy guy eyes. There's nothing he can really do about it. I'm Alex Cravatt in for Jim Rutledge alongside Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton.
Hello.
And we're talking a little bit about the Green Bay Packers, a little bit about what's going on in the land to the south, and a lot about head coaches. But the quarterback situation we were talking about before the break is Jayden Daniels versus Jordan Love. And Ryan, primetime Wollershine behind the glass, posed the question, will Jordan Love ever play at the level Jayden Daniels is right now? That's tough. It's because I don't think that their seasons are that dissimilar, right? Jordan Love missed 2 games, and he had about a little bit less than 200 fewer yards on the season than Jayden Daniels. They both had 25 touchdowns, and Jordan Love had 2 more interceptions, but he had that long run where he didn't have any interceptions. What are you seeing from Jayden Daniels that makes you think that Jordan Love isn't playing to that level?
I mean, it's mostly that knowing when to tuck and run. Sure, they're definitely scheming in more quarterback runs in Washington. It's a skill that Jayden Daniels, I do believe, is better than Jordan Love at. He is more athletic. He's faster. He's quicker. That said, I'm fully confident that Jordan Love, and I know, everyone's like, oh, he's been in the league for how long? Be real, guys. This is his second year in the league. I don't care if he's been in the same system. Sure, he knows the playbook, but that doesn't mean he's getting game speed practices his first 4 years while he was waiting to be a starter. He's now a starter. This is essentially his sophomore year as a starter. It seems like a common trope, but it's real. We saw it with C.J. Stroud. We're kind of seeing it with Jordan Love. This is his sophomore slump. C.J. Stroud, everybody at the end of last year thought he was the best rookie quarterback in the history of rookie quarterbacks, and literally the next year a rookie quarterback dethrones him, making it to the NFC Championship game as a rookie. I really believe that Jordan Love, if he can just have a little bit more awareness of knowing when, even if you're only going to get 3 yards, go ahead and take those 3 yards. Nothing's open downfield. If you've got the opportunity, take it. And I think that's something, along with that leadership that Matt LaFleur is trying to pound home and say we need Jordan Love to be more of a leader.
More Dan Campbell, more rah-rah.
Well, I think that's what a lot of people took it like. I think it was more Jordan Love needs to find how he's comfortable leading, whether that's going up to a teammate in private and talking to him or going on the sideline and pumping up his team. Do what feels right, but you need to do more to motivate your team. And I think that's what he's getting at. But I don't think it's that hard to teach somebody if you see an opening with your legs, go ahead and take it.
No, absolutely.
Like, and I think if Jordan Love did that, if he improved from, let's say, 88 yards or whatever it was rushing, like in the 80s, if he took that to 300,
it'd be huge.
It'd be huge.
That'd be
Because how
huge.
many of those are going to like lead up to first downs, or maybe it's on second down at third and second and 7, second and 10, and he chunks 4 yards out of a run. That play call is going to be way easier at 3rd and 6 as opposed to 3rd and 10. So I just feel like there's not a ton of changes that Jordan Love needs to make to get to the level that Jaden Daniels is playing right now.
Now, something that you said that kind of struck me is that you think that this was Jordan Love's sophomore slump.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he had what is a pretty good season, not by any means elite. Do you think?
I thought he just everything kind of leveled out. He didn't improve on last year a whole lot. Like, as far as numbers go, they're pretty similar seasons. He didn't have the highs that he had last year, and he avoided the lows. And I think that is a forward step. It might not be that full step forward, but it is a forward step to becoming one of the elite quarterbacks. Limiting the absolute clunkers. Now, if he can limit the absolute clunkers and then also bring in a couple of those wow games that he had last year, I think Jordan Love could be in one of those conversations as a top 5 quarterback in the NFC, maybe top 5 quarterback in the NFL, if he can find his way at keeping the high games and continuing to eliminate these like full clunker games.
Yeah, now that's interesting because I as a fan, I like to think, Jordan Love's at least in the conversation to be a top 5 in the NFC right now. But, maybe
Like,
not.
Realistically, is he?
Is he? Well, I mean, obviously.
If we walked through it, I don't think he makes the top 5 right now. The way this season went.
NFC?
In the NFC. It's really close. He might be 6.
Yeah.
Like, we want to walk through it. It's Hurts and Daniels. Those are the easy ones.
Is Hurts easy right now?
Well, I mean, he's in the championship game, and Hurts had a pretty good season. Hasn't been as great since his concussion, but
fair.
He had a pretty good season. And then you've
Matt
got
Stafford, Goff.
Goff was without a doubt better than Jordan Love this season. Darnold had a good season. Sure, he had a pretty abysmal finish to the season, but statistically, if you're just going to look at the numbers, you could put Darnold up there. Like,
Baker would also be up there.
Yeah, I was going to say Baker Mayfield
is in
looks
that
good.
mix. Like, I'm not saying he's not top 5, but I'm saying he's definitely, without a doubt, he's fringe top 5.
So as you look at the NFC, there's not a single quarterback that you look at and say they're better than Patrick Mahomes, than Lamar Jackson, than Josh Allen.
We don't say better than, but
Joe
could
Burrow.
you put him on that same tier? And I would say no.
No. And why do we know that those 4? And I mean, like, obviously not Lamar Jackson, but Pat Mahomes is on his own. He's his own guy. He's alone at the number 1 spot. He's in the conversation of GOAT. He's with Joe Montana, Tom Brady. Those are the only 2.
I mean, one more Super Bowl, I think that'd be 100% fair to say.
Yeah. Well, one more. I mean, he's already there. I mean, he's in that conversation given the speed with which he's done it.
You're probably right.
If he can get to another Super Bowl, if he can win another Super Bowl, but the thing is, we all know that the Super Bowl runs through him. You have to beat him to get there. The other 3, Lamar Jackson, who's never been to a Super Bowl, Joe Burrow, who's been to 1 Super Bowl, and Josh Allen, who's never won a Super Bowl. I think all 3 of those guys are also a full step ahead of anybody the NFC has. The only person in the NFC right now that feels like they belong in that conversation, maybe Matt Stafford and Jaden Daniels, because Jaden Daniels is showing this pop and flash that the other guys just don't have.
And it's coming at the right time. And again, like, Jordan Love had a very similar pop and flash towards the end of his season last year. Like, that Cowboys game, people were looking at Jordan Love as one of the better quarterbacks in the NFC for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And he was. But that doesn't mean that they're going to stay there. Jaden Daniels, if this is his average, if this is what he does year in and year out, he is certainly in the conversation with a Burrow or a Josh Allen. But I like the fact that there's not one in the NFC tells me that the NFC is still wide open. So
absolutely.
The Packers shouldn't be nervous. There's not like one place that you're like, oh, Super Bowl goes through X.
Right.
Right? It's not like the AFC right now.
And I think the other thing to keep in mind, which is so crazy that we're saying this and we're feeling like, Jalen Hurts is just some dude, and yet there's a very, very real chance that Jalen Hurts makes his second Super Bowl in, no time at all. How long has he been in the league? 4 years?
4 or
5
Same
years?
exact years as Jordan Love.
Oh,
So
my
that's his
gosh.
26th year? This would be his fifth year. Yeah.
Yeah. That's hard. That's hard. A hard pill to swallow. But one thing that all of them have is at least one really good wide receiver. And Jordan Love in his career has not had one really good. He's got a fine quality group of guys. I think all of them are talented. But even Jaden Daniels has Terry McLaurin, who just had his 7th 1,000-yard season? 1, 2, 3, 4. His fifth 1,000-yard receiver season and 919-yard receiving year. So every one of these guys has just a dog. And we can talk about this a little bit later, maybe after the break, after we've got not what Matt missed, but Minute to Win It coming up here in just a second. But I don't know what it is. Okay, let's get to what Matt, or not what Matt missed, but Minute to Win It. So Matt, we're gonna kiss you goodbye, toodalooskies, as he walks out.
I will say we don't usually kiss him goodbye.
Yeah, he's got a good mustache.
Oh, he's gonna say something.
I want caller number 5 for Jaden Daniels and number 10 for Jordan Love.
He really had to take a second to think of Jordan Love's number.
And then he left
I
his...
was trying to think of something else that was clever.
All right. So caller number 5 and caller number 10.
And we have to present the category first.
Right.
Now that Matt has left
just
the room.
Waiting for him to leave. So we have the top 10 quarterbacks in terms of quarterback rating for the playoffs this year. Not through the regular season, just in the playoffs. So there are 14 quarterbacks total. What do you think the good over-under for that should be?
There's 14 quarterbacks total. I feel like he should get over half. 7.5, I think, is a good number.
7.5, 7.5?
It's high. It's high, but it's the fact that he should know who the quarterbacks are in the playoffs and that he knows who played well and who didn't.
You know, let's. I want to go 6.5 because 3 of them that he's going to think are on there aren't going to be on there.
Okay, we'll see.
No, let's go 7.5. I like it. Let's be mean to him. 7.5. 844-770-3776 is your way to win. Minute to Win It. We've got that coming up next. It's Jim and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You've heard me talk about Carbon World Health and semaglutide and hormone optimization for a while now. What are you waiting for if you haven't checked it out? And if you have checked it out, congratulations to you. You're probably seeing the results. Sign up for the 6-week experience. See what Dr. Ness Rodriguez and the whole team at Carbon World Health has to offer, and see if semaglutide, the first FDA-approved weight loss treatment, game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment, is right for you. Or maybe it's hormone optimization. Maybe you're not having that same vigor in the day-to-day life that you've had. Maybe you're not gaining muscle like you used to. Hormone optimization could be right for you. Find out what is right for you in your fitness journey at Carbon World Health.
Hey, this is Matt's Chicago Doppelganger. You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN Madison.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. The college football season officially in the books after Ohio State's national title victory over Notre Dame. While the crown goes to the Big Ten, Mark Tauscher sees some holes regarding college football's future. From NIL, transfer portal, and growing conferences, here's what he had to say on Tuesday's edition of Wilde and Tausch.
The only way to actually do it is to say, we're going to get this thing so it's going to be a level playing field. And then it comes down to coaching, organization, and developing players. And it just feels like we are so far away from that.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
This is our crew.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is coming to ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every dramatic moment, every
fly ball left field. Back. Still back. It is up and gone.
Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
Start your year off right with incredible new deals at Metro Kia of Madison. It's a new year, and we've got 211 brand new vehicles waiting for you. Drive home a 2025 Kia Sportage with 1.9% APR financing for 60 months, $17.48 per thousand borrow. And don't forget, qualified buyers get 2 years, no charge maintenance, and 90 days deferred payments on new vehicles. But hurry, these new offers end February 3rd. Reserve your ride at MetroKiaMadison.com and stop in to Metro Kia today.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
We're going to skate to one song only.
Minute to win it. Coming up here just in a sec is Matt Hamilton walks in, goes, favorite segment.
I'm a nut.
I'm Alex Cravat alongside Matt Hamilton. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. 844-770-3776 is your way in to the show. And Sadler and Madison, a.k.a. Pat McMahon of Pat McAfee Show. To me, it looks like the Bears and Ben Johnson were putting on a Saturday Night Live skit. That's talking about Ben Johnson, Bears head coach, trying his best to make a funny.
Oh, so it was like Jimmy Fallon staring at the camera?
Yeah, I mean, the way he raised his shoulders and smiled, it was so cringy. If you missed any of that, you can go back on YouTube or anywhere you get your podcast, Wisconsin On Demand, and you can hear Ben Johnson's opening statement as the Bears head coach, and it's just.
And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
Oh, my gosh.
Really
I hope his
job.
offensive timing is better than his comedic timing.
Hey-o! Hey-o!
I was out in the hall thinking of that. I'm so glad I executed it better than Ben Johnson.
And he got one person to laugh. He did better than Ben.
That you did. All right.
Everybody listening chuckled at that one. That was gold.
Oh, certainly. Oh, gold.
Trust
for Matt
me,
Hamilton.
I know gold.
Oh, there it is. Okay, there. Now we're back to Ben Johnson levels. Listen, it is Minute to Win It, presented by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. North and South, one of my favorite places to go out in town. My girlfriend is from the South. She loves barbecue. One day she was feeling particularly homesick, and so we went out. I got the mac and cheese and some ribs because that's what I love to get when I go there. But she got the hush puppies in addition to, I don't even remember what she got. And the hush puppies were so good. They reminded her of her home so much that she cried tears of joy, guys. This place is awesome. What's your favorite thing to get?
Oh, first of all, the meat candy, the burnt end brisket is fantastic. But the sneaky favorite, because don't forget, it's seafood and smokehouse. The catfish bites, or the catfish snack. Oh, fantastic.
All right, so the winner for today's game. Oh, sorry. Can we introduce our contestants? Is that how we usually do this, Ryan?
We can introduce who the two callers were. We won't say whether they took over or under on the category today, but we got Matt in the greenhouse, and we got Noah Smith. Oh my God. I said his name.
Well, congratulations to Noah and Madison.
And it is a real congratulations to Noah, by the way, because he participated in Minute to Win It with us about a month ago, and he gave us the update that his wife was due in about a week, and his kid Happy baby. Healthy
Nice.
baby.
Congratulations, Noah.
Let's go, Noah!
Yes.
And kid. All right. Winner
I said
gets
Noah's last name, but I didn't say his kid's name. At least I did that right.
Yeah, there you go. Didn't
winner
dox
gets a
too many.
$50 gift card. Loser gets 25. All right. Are we ready?
All right, let's play Minute to Win It.
Today's
Will they beat the odds
I say everything with pure confidence, whether I think I'm totally right or not.
or crumble under pressure?
I legitimately know one of these. I legitimately have one.
This is the Minute to Win It, presented by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, with 3 locations in Madison, DeForest, and Verona.
All right, G, you brought the list today. You take it away.
Today's list is 2024 postseason QBR leaders.
Oh, no.
So only quarterbacks that were in the postseason. This does not include any
Yep.
running backs or anything. These are the passers for the team. The top 10, your over-under is set at 7.5.
Oh,
There's only 14 total, so you got to
Right.
get half of them. Are you ready?
Yes.
On your mark, get set, go.
Stafford.
Stafford is on the list. He is number...
Probably
8.
Jaden Daniels.
1. He's number 1 on the list.
I got to go Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is number 3 on the list.
I'm going to say Lamar.
Lamar is number 2 on the list.
Patrick Mahomes only had 1, so let's go Patrick.
Patrick Mahomes
One
is
game, that
5
is.
on the list.
What did you call him? Patrick
Mahomes.
Mahomes?
I thought I said Mahomes. Doesn't matter. Let's see.
It's a wrong answer.
Else? Goff had a pretty good first game.
Jared Goff
no,
is
he
not
didn't.
on the list.
He's not. That's right. He only had 1 because
He was
the 1 seed.
11th.
It couldn't be Darnold. I know it wasn't Love. Who else is on that list? I said Allen. I said Baker.
Baker Mayfield is on the list. He's number 7.
Who else lost in that early wild card round? Why am I blanking? Ryan, help me out.
I mean, what am I supposed to do here?
You're missing number 4. You're missing number 6. Oh, no.
At the buzzer, let's go with...
Oh, come on.
I can't think
It
of. I
doesn't
can't
make a
even think of a
difference.
name.
Geno Smith.
Yeah, Geno Smith.
All right. Well, I don't know who took the under, but whoever it was correct because we set your under pretty aggressively at 7.5. You got 6.
I know. And I was blanking on the teams that were even in the playoffs.
That was the real question is just do you remember all the playoff teams?
I mean, I
Which is
think
not
if I
easy.
had a little bit more time, I could have thought of more of them. But it's like you hear that clock ticking.
Yeah.
It's
Pressure,
It just
pressure.
absolutely it changes the game for you.
Pressure.
I was hoping we would get you with those NFC North guys because Jared Goff finished 11th of 14 with a 41.5.
So I knew that wasn't good because, I mean, I guessed it, but just because they're number 1, I forgot they didn't have a game to get to the second
Yeah,
round.
that was funny when he had a pretty good first game, right? Yeah, he didn't play.
Yeah, he did. He didn't throw any interceptions.
Yeah.
Jordan Love was number 12 with a 37.6.
I knew Jordan Love was like real bad.
Not good. And then
Darnold couldn't have been
Sam
in there.
Darnold, 13.5. So he was at 13th.
Right.
Justin Herbert, the only one who did worse than any of them with a 12.8
Oh,
QBR.
that's right. He had a horrible game.
Right. And it wasn't even all on him. There was like 2 tip balls, but
it was 4 picks.
It was still bad.
4 picks is good.
2 of them weren't his fault.
All right,
Yes.
all right.
Yes.
Let's run through this. Starting at number 1, 86.8. Jaden Daniels on an absolute tear. His numbers across the board from ESPN Analytics, really, really good. I mean, he's looking fantastic. Lamar Jackson, number 2 with 85. Josh Allen, number 3, 80.9. Number 4 is the first one you didn't get. This is a huge drop off from 80.9 to 67.4. Bo Nix.
Oh,
Bo Nix and those Denver Broncos. He looked fine in his game. Just the Josh Allen and those.
Yeah, the Buffalo's defense looked so good.
You had Patrick Mahomes at number 5, 66.3, 65.3 for C.J. Stroud.
Ah, that's right.
C.J. Stroud, the guy who you were saying looked good in the postseason, but not so good through the regular season. Baker Slayfield, my guy, 64.5. He's 7th. Matt Stafford, 56.8. So another big drop off here. Jalen Hurts, and rounding out our top 10 is Wisconsin's own Russell Wilson.
Okay, so I definitely forgot about the Broncos, the Steelers, the Chargers. Not that it would have helped me in knowing the Chargers, but
No,
I definitely
Justin
forgot.
Can you say who was 14th again?
Justin
Oh,
Herbert.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Where'd you say Russ was? I missed that part.
10th.
10th? Okay, that makes sense.
And 9 was who? Bo Nix?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
No,
Jalen
Bo Nix
Hurts.
was number 4.
Did I not say? I did say Jalen.
Yes.
Hurts.
You said Matt Stafford right away. Even if you got
Hurts?
even if you got it, you're still under the 7.5, which we set.
Yeah, and we would have had you at 6.5 otherwise, so that would have been the difference.
See, I'm guarantee you were the one that pushed it up to 7.5.
Correct.
You are just you. I have not hit an over in ages. I've gotten one in the last 10 weeks.
Because you know what this was?
You know what that is, right? That
What's
means
that?
you're setting the line poorly.
No, it means that Matt Hamilton should know more than half the teams who are in the playoffs.
But then I still had to get some right.
Okay,
right?
but
Because
that's
I could have got
that's
my
the
4 strikes.
curveball.
But that's not the curveball. The curveball is you need to set an appropriate line because now the first caller is always going to take. You want them to be like, man, you know what? Matt's an idiot, but this is so easy. This is so easy. We got to take.
It was a pretty good line. It was within 2. It's a pretty good line.
It was okay, but you have been the one who's been pushing lines all season. Jim wants to embarrass me with setting a low line, and me still not getting it.
No, I think it's the other way. If you were to go back and listen on Wisconsin and Man, you would hear Jim's pushing that line up right now. He's pushing it up just as much as I am.
He's
Trust me.
texting in numbers like 14.
If you
it's
feel
crazy.
if you feel like the line needs to be pushed up, you're wrong.
Okay, well,
for the future.
Okay, fair.
Especially when me and Molly are going back and forth. That makes it even harder.
Oh, that is different. That is different. When you have 2 people going back and forth, it does make it tougher.
But yeah,
either
it was
way,
just me today, and I was garbage.
But it's a huge congratulations to Noah and his child.
Who texts in, no worries about the name drop. His friend Austin texted him about it. So shout out Austin too.
So I got to know. Who called first? Was it Matt in the greenhouse?
Matt in the greenhouse called first. He took the over.
I'm so sorry, Matt. A fellow Matt, I let you down.
That's tough. All right, well, we've got so much more coming for you. We've got 0 Badgers in the top 100 players of college football. We've got who would be the ideal fit for the Packers in free agency, all that. So much more coming up as Ben Johnson fails as the Bears head coach. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlake Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports and Update brought to you by Celebrations Entertainment. Complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more. Go to celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. And won't be getting started today is Milwaukee Bucks basketball tonight, as their game against the New Orleans Pelicans, which was scheduled for 7 p.m., has been postponed due to snowstorms down in the state of Louisiana that have made the streets and city unsafe to travel on. More news and updates on that over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Bucks currently scheduled to host Miami on Thursday, and there's concern on if the team will be able to depart New Orleans in time for that game as well. Once again, make sure to stay tuned over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Instead, tonight on 100.5 ESPN, you'll hear some high school basketball action as Middleton will be taking on Vel Phillips Memorial. That's at 7 p.m. tip-off time. Streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube page and also live right here on 100.5 ESPN. Make sure to catch all your Prep Mania Hoops action all season long right here with us at ESPN Madison. Then the Wisconsin Badgers falling last night 85-83 to UCLA, ending a
Metro
7-game win
Kia
streak.
of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special. Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's
let
gonna
me get
swing
this
on
right.
Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me. I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other. Jim's an onion. You got to peel back the layers to get to the good part.
So you can tell Rutledge that. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Amen.
Because I'm here for whatever.
It's kind of a roller coaster. Sports is a roller coaster.
Matt, let me ask you a question. Matt, let me ask you a question.
If you get food poisoning from a place, do you go back?
Like for more food?
No, if you go back ever, like you get a bad burger from a place.
And give him a second chance.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Alex Gravatt.
We're working in the house today, all right? We got to figure out a way to get Ryan's skin in the game, according to Matt Hamilton, who is still so salty.
I am. I'm so salty right now.
Because if you were Vegas, you would be losing money. You'd be hemorrhaging money.
I was saying, right, if you were giving $50 of your own money to the over-under line and you only took the first caller, people would be absolutely crushing on it.
So wait, say that again. If
we're not taking like two people, right? If you're taking whatever they're not, just like Vegas does, right? If you set a line as Vegas and I call in,
I'm the house,
and I take the under because Matt has consistently hit the under over and over, I am raking you over the coals.
I don't think that's true necessarily.
I think if you take our last 10 minute to win it,
you're on a cold streak. What can we say, Matt?
But that's what I'm saying. If I'm on a cold streak, that means that the line is too strong.
Nah, the market hasn't
adjusted
yet.
When a quarterback is having a cold streak, they adjust the line for the next week because they want 50% of the people going over and 50 going under.
But guess what? I get the public, and I see what all the bets are, and I see what all the first callers say. A lot of them are saying over still. It's pretty half and half. Trust me,
No
guys.
way people are taking
all right,
overs.
I think it's probably closer to 40-60 for the first caller.
Okay.
But even then, that's pretty good.
Okay.
That's pretty close to the middle there.
Well, I'll calm down by the end of this segment. I might get myself a Coors Light because if the mountains are blue, gee, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light. All right, he was excited. We talked about that beforehand. 844-770-3776. That's your way into the show. The Siding Unlimited poll question today. Aside from Matt LaFleur, which NFC North head coach would you most want to coach the Packers? Dan Campbell, 35%. Kevin O'Connell inching back down towards 50%, 50.3%. And somehow, after today's press conference, the reason we talked about this at all, Ben Johnson, the new head coach for the Chicago Bears, looks like an idiot. 14.4% of you are voting for him. I wouldn't follow that guy into a Target, let alone battle. All right? I am worried about him. He looks bad. I feel better about the Packers because of this guy. It's just, he's a mess.
Kidding me? He'd be like, okay, gee, we're going to go into Target. You're going to break right towards the baby's clothing, and then you're going to cut up grocery aisle, and you're going to meet me in the back in electronics.
I'm not married. I don't need baby stuff.
No, I know, but you're going to end up in electronics.
I just want to walk to electronics, all right? I'm capable of doing that.
He has
they
got the play scheme
alleys
to get you there. You got to trust the guy.
Why would I trust him? He's making fun of Matt LaFleur, our guy, and he's looking goofy doing it with his shoulder raised and his tongue in cheek. Like, I've never seen someone physically
What's his record against Matt LaFleur, right? I want to say he's called the plays for 3 seasons, and the Packers
have beaten
first
them
run with Rodgers at home. Or no, in
with LaFleur.
The Packers are 1-5 against the Lions over the last 3 seasons.
Right, and they got him in
They would have gotten him last in...
They beat him in Detroit.
Yes, last year.
No. Yes. Rodgers beat him Detroit once, didn't he?
I don't know if Ben Johnson was the OC at the time, though.
3 years.
Yeah, this is his 3rd season.
So the Green Bay Packers...
And Love's only quarterbacked twice.
Yes, but the Packers are 1-5 against the Lions over the last 3 years, which means last year was the only one.
There was a pre-Jordan Love era.
There was.
And it was actually pretty crazy.
Man, I thought they split that year that the Lions came to Lambeau and beat us in the last game of the season.
You could be
take
right.
us out.
You could be right.
I thought he might be 2-4.
You could be right.
Or LaFleur 2-4.
No, because they started just abysmally, I'm pretty sure. The Lions did.
No, they were like 8-9 that year.
He wouldn't have made the joke if he hadn't gone 2-0 multiple times, because he says, I enjoy going 2-0 against Matt LaFleur every year.
That was, definitely last year.
Right. 844-770-3776 is your way into the show. That's the Carbless talk and text line. Less is more. Now, the Packers have a weird situation here where they looked really pretty competent all season long. They struggled against 3 teams, and then, of course, the Bears in that final game of the season, which that's not really worth talking about to me. It didn't matter too much. But
I mean, realistically, it didn't matter. But at that same time, as the Packers were hoping to get that win near the end of the game with that long field goal where LaFleur, like an idiot, took a timeout and gave the Bears a minute with the ball.
Right.
The Commanders were losing the Cowboys at that point.
I know. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's lunacy that
Jane Daniels took them down and it didn't end up mattering. But at the time, in the moment, that mattered a lot. We were playing the Rams.
Right. And the Rams are not as good. So, but I want to pull it back a layer here. This is something we talked about before the show. Matt Hamilton, if the Packers could lose every game in the division for the next 3 years and make the playoffs each year and make the Super Bowl, I'm not going to say Super Bowl win, but just make the game, would you trade division wins for the Super Bowl?
So that's a tricky one because if we win the division, we're still in the playoffs. So we still have a shot at the Super Bowl.
Sure.
And if you're winning in the division...
No. I'm going to say they're not going to make the Super Bowl if they win the division. They go 6-0.
Well, no, we're taking the Super Bowl, 100%. Like, it's all about the Super Bowl.
Ryan?
It's the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Because they can say, hey, we won the division all they want. If they're watching you play on Super Bowl Sunday from home, then that's a win for you.
Here's the example of why you want it's an obvious answer, to be honest. I mean, 2011-2010 season, or 2010-2011 season, who won the Super Bowl?
The Green Bay Packers.
Who won the NFC North?
The Chicago Bears.
Did anyone talk about the Chicago Bears winning the division that year?
No. And it's, bring
Not
it back.
outside of Chicago.
Even in Chicago, I don't know if they bring it up.
Jim Rutledge did. He was really hyped up one day about how the Bears could have kept the Packers out of the playoffs and they pulled the stars.
So
and
you
whatever.
can tell Rutledge that.
Exactly. And you can even make it this year, right? Ohio State, their whole shtick is you have to beat Michigan. Nothing like that's what matters. You think any of them are talking about it today? Sitting as national champions?
It's crazy because, up until 3 weeks ago, Day was kind of on the hot seat.
Hot seat, yeah. Well, he's
And
0-3 against it.
unreal record.
It'd be like if
Is it 0-3 or 0-4?
I don't know. But that's like if Matt LaFleur came in and he said, hey, we're going to win championships. And the Packers are in the Super Bowl once. They're NFC championship games, but they just lose to the Bears every time. Would you give up the playoffs to beat the Bears again and again and again and again?
Never.
Exactly.
Well,
and so
the Super Bowl for sure.
You're right. And so having Ben Johnson come in there and not say, "Hey, we're gonna win a championship," but for the thing that you take away is we're gonna beat the Packers.
Well, that is their Super
spot.
Bowl.
Exactly. What a sad spot their program is in.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with that. I think the fact that the Bears' biggest game of the year comes twice a year, and once at Lambeau and once at Soldier, is their problem.
844-770-3776. No Jim Rutledge today. We're bashing the Bears all day long. It's great. I'm happy about it at least. Prime,
people like me.
Yeah, Prime. We talked about it a little bit, but still, is there any level of division success that you'd give up for playoff success? If you could only have one, is there any level that you'd be willing to give up?
Yeah, all of it. I'd give up the entire. I would go if it guaranteed the Packers were doing well and succeeding in the playoffs. We could go 0-6 in the division for all I care.
Right. Yeah, I mean, think about what even Bears fans will chide, Packers fans about now that they lost in the first round. It's like, oh, sitting on the couch just like us in January. But they're not going to bring up, oh, we swept you this year in the division in the regular season. If say if the Commanders had lost to the Eagles the second time, if Jalen Hurts didn't get hurt, but they still made the playoffs and now they're in the NFC Championship game. Do you think any Eagles fans are going to be trolling hey, we beat you twice in the regular season?
Especially if they end up beating them in the NFC Championship game, right?
That's all that matters.
You're not going to hang your hat on that. Yeah. At the end of the day is who's playing later into January.
And that's part of the reason why for the last 5-6 years, maybe this year excluded maybe, it's felt like I'm more excited, more invested, more interested in any game the Packers had against the 49ers than any of their division rivals.
Ooh, see, that's interesting. See, I'm still a big own your backyard guy.
Oh yeah,
win the division, Like, if you lose outside the division, it might matter a little bit for seeding. But for the most part, if you win the division, not for the most part, a guarantee, if you win the division, you're in the top 4 of the playoffs. You're a top 4 seed.
Now, admittedly, there are some teams where you don't want to be a top 4 seed, like it's almost advantageous. Like, the better teams are wild card teams more often than not. Now, of course, this year it doesn't look like that because the Vikings crapped the bed, the Packers crapped the bed.
Commanders, it was chalk.
Pretty much.
Right? Because Bills were 2, Chiefs were 1, chalky. Number 2 was the Eagles. I mean, the Commanders made a run.
Did the Steelers win their division, or was it the Ravens?
The Ravens won.
The Ravens did. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's some fairness to that.
It's just like there's a reason that the top 4 seeds, I would say, even traditionally, do better in the playoffs. They're better teams. They played and won the games that they feel like they should, and they handled their division, which is really, when you think about it, if you're gonna like grade importance, of each game that you play in the regular season, like, the division games are almost always going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The most important games you play, because it guarantees you a spot into the playoffs if you win your division.
You think the Chiefs feel that way?
I mean, I do think the Chiefs put an emphasis on the Broncos and the Raiders and the Chargers. Yes.
Chiefs win.
I think they put a pretty good emphasis on every game, but I do think they realize, first and foremost, make the playoffs. Win the division, you're in a good position in the playoffs, and that's important.
The Green Bay Packers had the same kind of vibe as the Chiefs for a long time, where it was, the division is kind of historically garbage and all that.
Right.
But that was something that Aaron Rodgers really did well, right? He was able to sit down and say, okay, I know how to beat these teams. I'm going to beat these teams. And that's just what it is. Like, there's no way around it. Mm-hmm. We are going to win those games. And he owned the North. I mean, he struggled against the Lions sometimes, it felt like. The Vikings were always trying to end his career. But outside of those things, right, it was that. And we haven't seen that from Jordan Love, who I think his career against NFC North teams so far is 500 or right at that 500 mark.
I mean, going 1-5 this year is not going to help that stat at all. That said, like, I believe we've got a sounder. It plays during commercials. Homer, Steve the Homer True, he says we're not going to do well in the playoffs if we're continually going to be a 7 seed. And I think there's something to that. A lot of granted, our Super Bowl success with Rodgers was coming out of a wild card spot, but that team caught fire, and that can happen. Like the Commanders right now are catching fire. A lot of the great teams that make the playoffs and win the Super Bowl historically are those teams that got byes. Like a couple years ago, it was 2 teams that got byes. Now it's just 1. And being that 1 or 2 seed gives you a big advantage because you should be playing a lesser team early. And now with the reseeding, if you're a 2 seed and there is an upset, you don't have to worry about playing like number 4. You get to play number 6 because if 7 moved along, they're playing number 1, right? Like, there's a huge advantage, especially in this playoff climate, if you will, to be a higher seed because of this reseeding. So until the Packers can get back on top of the North consistently, these postseasons are going to be like a crapshoot.
Throwing Stones comes up next. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Outside In. That's what we call our Siding Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the stuff defending the outside of your home against Wisconsin's weather displayed inside. Many siding options and colors, plus full display of Pella windows and patio doors, and roofing too. Wisconsin's own Siding Unlimited, 4-time National Pella Platinum Premier Contractor of the Year, and proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, awaits you inside our showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. SidingUnlimited.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
We ask and you answer. Follow at Jim Matt Molly on X to vote and poll questions every day. Presented by Siding Unlimited, your local home improvement pros. Trust Siding Unlimited with all your home remodeling needs.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
No sleep till!
Jim, Matt, and Molly rolls on your Wednesday afternoon. Hey, I almost said Tuesday. Mondays are weird, or when Mondays are off, it's like weird.
Yeah.
I'm still not recovered. I think Chrissy, who's sitting across from us right now, say hi, Chrissy. Just crack with hi.
Hello.
Yeah, we broke the rules. Jesse Nelson somewhere is rolling his eyes as he makes all the rules here, and I like to break them.
The hall monitor.
The hall monitor. Tighty Whiteys, as they call them on KPN, I think. There she is. Well, if you're watching the stream, you got Chrissy on. She's helping us out with digital content today. But yeah, she came in today thinking it was Thursday. We had Shannon in. I think she thought it was Tuesday or something like that. It's just been a weird one, man.
Yeah, it is definitely an odd setup. Fortunately, when you live the life of Peter Pan, no days really matter. You just show up when you know that it's not a weekend.
Don't you nap before you come in most days?
At least once a week.
Wow.
I would say at least once a week.
Wow. All right. Well,
speaking of wow on how much interaction we had on this poll question.
Yeah, listen.
I am beyond stoked about that.
You come in, I come in, and I get stuff done. I would be at least as good of a head coach as Ben Johnson right now after we got your votes up to 165. Was many of those from your followers because you retweeted it? Probably Matt Hamilton, but
maybe.
Our Siding Unlimited poll question today on Jim, Matt, and Molly is which NFC North quarterback outside of Matt LaFleur,
head coach,
would you want? Did I say quarterback?
You sure did.
Which one of the head coaches from the NFC North would you want coaching the Packers if it wasn't Matt LaFleur? Kevin O'Connell leading the way, just over 50%. Dan Campbell at 34.5%. And 14 of you, I still just don't understand what's going on. Ben Johnson is your vote.
165 votes so far.
Not bad.
That is
not bad.
That's a good poll.
All right, well, so you're feeling good about that.
Yep.
We're gonna throw some stones down. You're gonna tell us what you're not feeling good about.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
That was cooler than being cool. Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
All right, Matt Hamilton, like Alex G said, what are you not so chill about on this cold Wisconsin day?
Well, fortunately, it's way nicer than it was
21
yesterday.
degrees.
Yeah, that's like 40 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. But what's grinding my gears, and again, sometimes it's based on timing, on when I have to go to work and when I finished my nap. Sometimes it's because there's so much snow coming down. But what grinds my gears more than anything in the winter is when I have to shovel while it's still snowing. I want the satisfaction of getting to the bottom of the driveway, turning around and seeing a clean driveway. So the other issue with this is I have to make sure it's shoveled because one, my wife's coming home from work and I don't want her slipping off my super steep driveway. And second of all, like, it is a super steep driveway. Like, you need to be careful on that thing. Like, I've got boulders the size of Volkswagens to the left of my driveway. If you're looking down it, you don't want to slip off and get stuck on a giant boulder. But I also don't want to do more work and have to shovel twice. So, like,
the life of Peter Pan. He doesn't want to do more work.
I know. I should have talked my wife into a condo. That was my issue. I bought a standalone house like an idiot. But, like, I'm curious a little bit. What about the snow grinds your gears the most? For me, it's shoveling when it's still snowing.
Yeah, so I just got new tires on my car from a local spot here in town, and let me tell you, that made a world of difference.
Like proper snow tires or all-weathers?
No, just brand new all-weathers.
Okay.
And it was, oh my gosh, driving was really driving me crazy. I thought my car had a problem with the traction control. I could never, like, get started, and, like, at a certain point, I just want to, like, floor it and then let my tires catch and go, but I couldn't do anything. New tires have made a world of difference, so if you're struggling out there, you just do yourself a favor. Before next,
tires.
oh my gosh. Because that made a world of difference. I was so angry before.
So what grinds your gears is too bald of tires in the snow.
Well, yes, but the real thing that grinds my gears. It
grinds your tires, actually.
It does. It does indeed. I have underground heated parking at my apartment, and I love having it.
Yeah.
But then I'll go and spend the night at my partner's, and it'll bucket dump snow one night. I won't look. I won't think about it. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm paying money to have this space where my car is safe and sound, where it's good, it's great, I don't have to worry about it. And now I didn't think ahead. I didn't put perspective on, and I have to scrape my car, and I feel like an idiot every time it happens.
Fair enough. Ryan, what grinds your gears the most about snow?
Slipping and falling, like the 2 times a winter when that happens. It's the worst feeling
like
ever.
Straight up fall down, like cartoon style, your legs are kicking out?
You've never been outside, like walking on like concrete or walking on blacktop where it's just there's black ice you don't see and you just slip out from underneath yourself like banana peel.
Pretty good on ice.
We're both
It's been a long time since I've slipped on ice, to be honest.
All right, that makes sense.
I'm not even trying to like be braggy.
Frozone over here.
It's really, I have not.
Where is
a
my
knock on
super
wood,
soup?
but I have not slipped off of a curling sheet in a very long time.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I'll be honest. That does make a lot of sense. Unfortunately, I'm not the most. I'm clumsy. I'm not the most coordinated. What can I say?
Can we get Chrissy's take?
Chrissy?
What grinds your gears the most about snow?
I actually was going to say slipping and falling because this morning when I came into work, I was walking out. I took an Uber to work because I was not taking the bus. I was not taking the bus.
Are you going to write that off and try and get it expensed by the company here?
By GKB?
Yeah.
With the amount of Ubers I've taken in the last year, they would be shocked because at the second it's under 30 degrees, I'm not waiting at the bus stop. I'm going straight to the Uber.
Are you from Wisconsin?
I'm from New Jersey.
I knew you're from New Jersey. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
It's a complete mess.
Yeah.
So when was the last time you fell?
Warm.
Today, I got out of the Uber. I started walking across the street. And kind of like Ryan said, the back of my heel slipped on some ice as I was getting up on the curve. I'm flailing. I look like I'm in the ridiculousness scene where I'm about to scorpion. And yeah, I just sat down and I just thought about my life choices for a minute. And I came in early today too. And I was like, am I getting punished for coming in early?
Well, no, you left early to make up for the time that you had to sit and wallow in your own self-pity for falling.
Chris is like, why didn't I go to USC? Why didn't I go to USC?
Yeah.
Hey, if you were looking for the Big Ten experience, you could have gone to USC and gotten it, all right?
It's true.
Well, don't worry, Chrissy. We still think you're a winner, and winners go to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the smoke-free slots and highest payout percentage in the area. Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, and more fun. And we're about to have more fun with Mark Tauscher coming up next. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on Wisconsin On Demand, ESPN Wisconsin, presented by Coors Light.
Hey, this is Matt's Chicago Doppelganger. You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN Madison.
How good would it feel to start the new year by losing those unwanted pounds? At Madison Weight Loss, our metabolic reset program can help you finally lose those pounds without all the stress and frustration of trying to figure it out on your own. The secret is our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. Learn how our clients on average lowered their metabolic age by 17 years. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation and learn why your metabolism may be sabotaging your goals.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson, and yes, you can achieve that New Year's resolution to be healthier and drop unwanted weight. I lost 40 pounds during my 60-day program with Madison Weight Loss. It really works.
Now is the time to end the cycle of weight gain and frustration without packaged food or injections. You could lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days and have the tools to keep it off long term. You can do the program in person or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
One word captures why so many businesses choose to do business with James Imaging Systems. Local. Local business technology. Local support. Local accountability. Listen to James' client Daniel Bertelson, RE/MAX Preferred CEO.
James Imaging is one of the vendors that we use to move all of our documents and set up networks and utilize their equipment for scanning and storage purposes.
Local support works for James' client Josh Gabel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance.
Yeah, things happen. They can come out and fix it and leave us to what we're needing to do.
Jennifer Wilger, Purchasing Manager with Baker Manufacturing, likes the local accountability from the James Imaging Systems people.
They're an absolutely wonderful partner for us. They go above and beyond.
Local business technology, local support, local accountability. Get it all from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Ben Bruss here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Green Bay Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
What did you call yourself, Thundercat? Well, I appreciate it, Thunder.
Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer,
Matt Hamilton. Help me out. Who is that?
Wisconsin football analyst.
You know what? It feels like Molly's the only one that's being sincere about that. So, Molly, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly on ESPN Madison. 844-770-3776 is the Carbless talk and text line. Less is more. And that's how we get Mark Tauscher right now. Tauscher, how we doing?
Good, Jimmy. How are you?
Whoa. I don't have nearly enough facial hair for that.
Rookie scale deals.
Sorry. Well, this was a rookie mistake.
Is Jimmy down at the Bears presser? He's all fired up to get his new coach and, another 2 more years before they have a new coach, or what is he doing?
He might be stuck there. He was on a plane home today and just texted that he's not going to make it tomorrow because his delayed flight's going to keep him from catching the next one, and now they're booking him out tomorrow, and he's just calling it in for tomorrow.
He's currently stuck in West Palm Beach. Yeah.
Oh, there's worse places to be.
He's got buddies down there. He worked there for a couple of years.
This is after he just explained to us too. Like he had to go through TSA and everything. His daughters wanted to bring like a couple handfuls of sand for their friends who had asked them to grab sand from the beach. And he said it was a real ordeal trying to get sand through TSA.
Just in the pockets?
So, yeah. Well, no, it was probably in a jar. But now he's got to go back out and then deal with that same. He might just tell the girls, like, hey, no sand. Sorry for your friends. No sand. We ain't bringing it.
Just put it in your socks.
Just put it in your socks.
Like Andy Dufresne?
Just present. I told him, just pull it out and present it. Take them out of the backpacks. Don't try and pull one over on TSA. If they see a glass jar of sand, they're just going to be like, weird. Have a nice day. Enjoy your flight. I don't know. He totally forgot every traveling tip I tried to give him because he had asked me about bringing sand home a week ago.
Tausch, you travel a lot. You got any mementos or jars of sand that keep you happy that you've brought back from your trips?
I don't think I've ever done. We've done, like Eleanor loves seashells, so she would go and collect those. But I don't think we've ever just done like a bucket of sand. I don't think that's ever been on our bucket list, pun intended. So no, I don't have that.
Didn't Tom Brady do something about like grabbing a handful of sand or something? I feel like in his last like retirement video, he like filled a jar with sand somewhere. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
No, I think somebody else did that and tried to sell it, and then it turns out he didn't actually retire.
Oh, that's right.
That's
right.
There you go.
The sand he was sitting on and not doing the video. You're right. That's what they tried to grab. Tausch, we had just done throwing stones, and the snow, man, has been kind of grinding my gears. My issue with the snow is that I hate shoveling when it's still snowing. And like today, I had to go to work. I was shoveling. I want to know what grinds your gears most about snow.
Slippery roads and people driving. Otherwise, I was just kind of lamenting the fact this morning that it's been so cold and kind of blah out here, and there's no snow. So if we're going to be in Wisconsin and deal with the winter, which I love, I mean, I don't have any problem with it. Let's have some snow. Let's have, be able to go snowshoeing. If you want to go curl out on your lake, be able to go curl. And the fact that there's been no snow, and now, of course, I'm driving in it's not a snowstorm, but there's definitely more snow and more traffic because of it than I would like. That's probably the biggest thing, is just the traffic and the slippery conditions is probably the biggest pet peeve I have with the snowfall.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I just got new tires on my car, and oh my gosh, do I feel like I'm so much more in control. I like it all. Like, I forgot how nice it is to be actually in control of your car in the snow. But one thing that seems a little out of control, Ben Johnson, the new head coach for the Bears, who had just a terrible press conference. Ryan wanted to play you the audio and get your reaction live again. Prime time, take it away.
I know this is the toughest division of football right now. There's 3 teams that made the playoffs this year. I've got tremendous amount of respect for the coaches and the players in this league, having competed against them for the last 6 years. Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, you're talking about 2 guys that are up for Coach of the Year awards as the season ends here. And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
That was booty.
Awkward pause.
Yeah.
No laugh track. No, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. It was, I don't fully understand. I mean, I do understand. I think from our perspective, or at least mine, as being a Packer fan, I love the fact that they're always thinking about us. Like, you want, if somebody likes you or somebody hates you, you just want to make sure they think about you, or that you're in their frame of mind or their thought bubble. And it just feels like it doesn't matter what coach. I know Lovie Smith did that, and he had some success against us, and that his goal was. But at that point, we were kind of the kings of the North, and right now the Lions are, and he's still thinking about Matt LaFleur and putting bulletin board material up on an opening presser. I think you have to understand, from a Bear fan standpoint, I guess I'd be all right with it because I want you to feel like we're arch enemies. But I don't know, looking back, when it all is said and done, I don't know how well that's even received in Chicago, if I'm being honest. I don't know how that gets received down with Waddle and Sylvie and Cap and Hood and everybody. I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a forced laugh from the media in the room. So I'm going to attribute that to bad delivery. The dramatic pause was unnecessary. If you'd have got that out quick, I think it would have been a little bit funnier. Anyway, we got into another, our poll question for the day. Aside from Matt LaFleur, which NFC North head coach would you most want to coach the Packers? I was trying to get a feel for who the Packer fans really thought could do a good job in Green Bay, but I thought the homers would all vote Matt LaFleur, so I tried to exclude him from it. So between Ben Johnson, Kevin O'Connell, and Dan Campbell, who would you most like to see running the Packers?
Kevin O'Connell. I don't think it's close. Kevin O'Connell deserves a ton of love. And I do not like the Minnesota Vikings under any circumstances. But what he did this year, Dan Campbell's done a great job. He deserves all the flowers for what he's done in Detroit. But Kevin O'Connell, with a quarterback that has failed everywhere he's been, and a roster that was kind of turning over, for him to be able to get that much out of that offense and to figure out what to do on D, I think I know Dan Campbell will win Coach of the Year, and he deserves it. But I think Kevin O'Connell did a whale of a job. And if the Green Bay job came open and Matt LaFleur wasn't going to be the coach, and you had to pick somebody from this division, I think Kevin O'Connell would be the guy because he's creative. I think he handles a room. He's proven to be a winner. And that would be the guy that I would pick.
And handling a room, I like that you mentioned that because it's something that they've talked about Jordan Love needing to work on. What did you see when Aaron Rodgers took over as the head, or not the head coach, but the quarterback for your team?
Some people thought he was the head coach.
He thought he was the head coach, all right? Let's be very honest. But as he took over, did you see him step into that leadership position slowly, or was it Brett was out and I'm in?
I think once you're the starting quarterback, there's just you're going to jump into it. You're going to be thrown into it. You better be ready. And I think Aaron, that's where, not throwing a rookie in right away, I think is a big advantage because guys know him, they've seen it, and they understood that he was a talented guy and that, he wasn't just, I'm the new guy. He worked really hard at forming relationships with guys and wanting to take that leadership onus because he saw it and he knows how important it was. And I think that's one of those hidden things that gets lost in how does Green Bay do such a great job? Well, because they learn on the job and they see it. Because the last thing you want to do is crown some rookie, put a C on their chest, and it's overwhelming to them, and then they're trying to be somebody that they're not, and everybody sees through it, and nobody buys into it, and that's how you lose a locker room faster than anything. So Aaron, I thought, handled that part of his career. I mean, he was fantastic, taking the reins over, building those relationships, and then, not just stamping himself as a captain or a leader. He went out and earned it, and I think that's one of the many things that he did really well in Green Bay.
And I mean, you're obviously not still in the locker room. You're hanging out with us here at ESPN Wisconsin, but have you seen things from Jordan Love that lead you to believe he's really doing that and taking the onus of that responsibility?
Absolutely. I don't think you just listen to the way his teammates talk about him and the coaches talk about him. You can just give idle, blank compliments, or you can go into detail and really show what somebody is doing. And I think everybody to a T, you could say Jordan's accuracy. You could, pick away at some of the things that maybe he doesn't do well. But everybody says he works hard, he studies, he's always prepared. He has got all of that, I think, in the arsenal of being. And the only way you continue to grow is by playing good football and setting that example and showing every day how consistent you are. And I think Jordan has done a great job in that department for sure.
Absolutely. I've got nothing but good things to say about Jordan Love. And so did Devontae Adams, talking with Kay Adams, comparing Jaden Daniels' demeanor to Jordan Love. We were looking at the stats, and fairly similar numbers-wise with Jaden Daniels outside of the rushing. What do you think Jordan Love could do? One thing that Jordan Love could do this offseason to work on where he could be that NFC quarterback in the NFC Championship game next year like Jaden Daniels is now?
I think there's a lot of things that he could do, and I'm sure he will do, and whether it's just his fundamentals. But I think one of the things, and Jason said this on our show this morning, about the amount of rushes and how many rush yards he had this year compared to last. And you would think I think he lost. He basically ran for 250 last year. This year was under 100. And that's a lot of missed hidden yardage that's not out there. And I think obviously a big part of that was that he was hurt. He's dealing with the knee and everything else. But finding ways to get out of the pocket and have those plays extended and make big plays out of it. I thought we saw more of that last year. So his pocket presence I thought was really good this year. He didn't take a ton of sacks, but finding ways and getting in sync with his guys on those broken plays that can, either lead to running for a first down or getting out and getting healthy and being able to use his legs more, I think it'd be something that would really help this offense and help him be more efficient.
And Mark, I've heard you a couple times use your blinker throughout this, and I just wanted to thank you as a person of the road for signaling. That's one of those things that really gets under me.
Okay, so is my blinker on right now?
No.
Okay, how about now?
No.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, now
that's what's
I can't
weird.
hear it.
I didn't realize that you could tell that my blinker, because it's not like the blink, blink. It's more of a quieter blink.
A subdued blink.
I've definitely heard the blinker too.
That's interesting. I can always tell if somebody's not buckled up, and obviously I always buckle.
Oh.
But I just turned my turn signal on right now. So I appreciate you appreciating me using my turn signals, AG.
Hey,
especially in the weather like today.
Communication is key, and that's that's where all of it stems from. You got anything else for us, Tausch?
I don't have anything else. I'm just trying to hang on here, keep this car on the road.
All right. Well, you drive safe. Enjoy your day. We'll talk to you. We'll hear you tomorrow 9 to noon. That was Mark Tauscher, host of Wilde and Tausch every day 9 to noon with Jesse Nelson or whatever. He's the producer. I think we consider that a well-produced show. Is that it, Prime?
According to Jesse. If you ask him, he'll tell you it's a well-produced
He
show.
said it was yesterday when he was hosting with Matt. He mentioned that Wilde and Tausch was well-produced at least 4 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have to say it that many times, you're obviously insecure about whether it's well-produced.
Yeah,
Ryan, you
Ben
never
Johnson.
mention it. This is a well-produced show.
I would never claim this is a well-produced show.
Well, I mean, you're trying to herd 2 cats here. I think you do a pretty darn good job.
Well, no, I'm trying to herd a cat and a dog, I think is what I'd say I'm doing.
That's fair.
Fantastic. All right, we'll wrap it up next. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Chalmers Jewelers is Madison's family-owned and Madison's custom jeweler. Whether you go to the Madison or Middleton location, you're going to run into either Garrett, Devin, Ruth, or Scott Chalmers, and you're going to have an opportunity to work with one of their great custom jewelers. Their stunning jewelry never fails to impress, better yet, it's custom. So whether you want to treat someone special in your life or treat yourself, go to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison or in Middleton.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Outside In. That's what we call our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the cool stuff you want outside in your yard displayed inside. Patios, decks, pavers, and an automated pergola, fire pit, outdoor kitchen, a putting green, and in-ground pool. Even a converting 3-season room that's either outside or inside. We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. Your outdoor living potential awaits you at our Outside In showroom, 2018 South Stoughton Road. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Is your computer so slow you can hardly use it? Does it have blue screens, malware, viruses, reboots, hardware crashes? Sound familiar? Computers will have problems, and when they do, you need the computer experts at Madison Computer Works. Every day we help home users and businesses keep their computers and networks running smoothly. For solutions to your computer problems, call the pros at 231-8000, and we'll turn this into this. Madison Computer Works. Computers that work for you.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. You can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
The Bears do it again. They are just floundering, and it's not just the team, it's not just the offensive court, it's a top-down approach in failure. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Matt Hamilton. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. And Ben Johnson, the new head coach of the Chicago Bears, which, listen, I know that this program gets too much Bears content, but as the fill-in, I want to take my opportunity to give you the opposite Bears content, right? Something that is just, the Bears are a bit of an embarrassment. Am I right?
Waka waka.
Waka waka. That's a nice little nod to Ben Johnson, who really was egregious in his opening press conference. I'm uninspired.
See, that one was at least good timing. You didn't have like these weird pauses. You knew what you were going to say and you let it out.
And you're welcome for not letting out anything more in here. I've been holding that or going out. All right, so
thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean primetime's safe behind the glass over there. But we've asked the Siding Unlimited poll question. Matt LaFleur aside, which NFC North head coach would you most want to coach the Packers? Kevin O'Connell ran away with it with 50% of the vote. Dan Campbell gets 36%. And thank goodness Ben Johnson fell below 14%. I was starting to get worried that it would crawl above 15%. But yeah, it was uninspired. I'm uninspired by him. And I think the Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur could do a little bit of work with his inspiration, I think. But he gets those guys going.
I don't think it's inspiration. Honestly, it's Matt LaFleur's sideline demeanor that kind of gets me right now. He's definitely getting upset over things that just happen in football. Like, there are going to be mistakes here and there. It's like, go ahead and freak out on the refs, on the dumb calls and stuff like that. But like, he's the coach that cried penalty right now, or he's just like, it's too much. you're more impactful if you can save it for the moment that it really matters. And I think Matt LaFleur needs to toe that line a little bit better.
Certainly could. I really do like Matt LaFleur. He's a good head coach. He
Great
wins
eyebrows.
games all the time. Somebody chimed in 844-770-3776. Whereas it was early in the show, somebody asked how many, or no, it was
on X.
on Twitter or
Yeah.
X. Yeah.
How many times does Matt LaFleur get his haircut a week?
That's a good question. When was the last time you had a haircut?
Actually, I had it trimmed recently because the ends were all sticking together, and every time I tried to touch it, my hands would get tangled. So.
If you missed out on the show, I just want to point out that we have the luscious locks today.
Yeah,
This is
best
the hair
hair in
hour.
Madison, for sure.
Alex Gravatt alongside Matt Hamilton. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light. And who knows, with Jim staying out and wherever he is, I might be back tomorrow. See you then.
See you guys.
The number 7 just got a whole lot luckier because of Pizza Hut's $7